Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when you must stop and take a hard look at yourself. Not at what others say about you, not at what you've lost, not even at what you fear, but at the truth of who you are and what you're capable of becoming. Life is not about sitting on the sidelines. Life is about showing up, standing tall, and daring to believe that there's more inside you than what the world sees right now. Your mindset will determine everything. If you think small, you live small. If you allow doubt, worry, and negativity to cloud your mind, your life will mirror it. But if you dare to think bigger, if you hold on to the idea that your future is greater than your past, then nothing, no obstacle, no failure, no loss can stop you. The only limits that exist are the ones you create in your mind. Change your thoughts, and you will change your life. Now hear this, struggles are not here to destroy you. Struggles are training you, preparing you, shaping you into someone stronger than you've ever been. Too many people quit when the storm comes, but storms were never meant to last. You were built to endure them. You were built to learn from them. Every failure, every rejection, every closed door is redirecting you, not rejecting you. Don't curse the struggle. It may be the very thing setting you up for your breakthrough. But understand this, you cannot climb the mountain of success if you are tied to the wrong people. The people you allow in your circle are either lifting you or draining you. Some people are anchors, keeping you stuck. Others are engines pushing you forward. Choose wisely. Who you walk with determines where you arrive. If you want to rise, surround yourself with people who remind you of your value, challenge your excuses, and push you toward your destiny. Motivation is good, but it will fade. That's why discipline and consistency matter. Anyone can be motivated for a day, but discipline, that's what separates the average from the exceptional. Discipline says, I'll keep moving even when I don't feel like it. Discipline says, I'll practice until I master it. Discipline says, I'll do what I said I would do long after the mood has left me. Consistency is how you transform good intentions into great results. And finally, your life is not just about you. It's about the mark you leave behind. Every choice you make today is writing the story people will tell about you tomorrow. Will they say you gave up when things got hard? Or will they say you fought until the end? Will they remember you as someone who wasted potential, or as someone who inspired others to believe in their own? Your legacy is being built right now. Don't waste the chance to make it powerful. So I say this to you, you cannot afford to ignore these lessons. Your life, your family, your future, your legacy depend on them. Stand tall, fight through the struggles, choose your circle wisely, stay disciplined, and live in such a way that when your name is spoken, people will feel inspired to reach higher. Because life isn't giving you a dress rehearsal. This is it. And if you're going to live it fully. Your mindset is the steering wheel of your life. Where your mind goes, your life will follow. If your mind is full of fear, excuses, and doubt, you'll keep driving in circles, ending up in the same place, wondering why nothing ever changes. But when your mind is filled with faith, vision, and determination, you start moving toward a future that looks different from your past. The difference between people who rise and people who stay stuck is not luck, not talent, not even resources. It's mindset. You've seen it before. Two people can be in the same storm, facing the same challenges, but one sees it as a reason to quit, and the other sees it as a reason to grow. The same situation, but two different outcomes because of how they think. Life doesn't stop throwing challenges your way just because you're a good person. Life doesn't pause the problems just because you've suffered enough. Life is not fair, but it is neutral. It responds to the way you think and act. When your mind is set on winning, you start to see opportunities that others miss. When your mind is set on growing, You stop complaining and start learning. Your thoughts create a lens, and that lens determines how you interpret everything around you. Some people call it perspective, but let's tell the truth, it's mindset. If you walk into every room telling yourself you don't belong, eventually you'll prove yourself right. But if you walk in believing you're worthy, that you're capable, that you've got something valuable to bring, people will start believing it too. That's why you must guard your mind like a treasure chest. Don't let negativity live there rent-free. Don't let the past dictate the possibilities of your future. Too many people are walking around rehearsing the failures of yesterday instead of creating the victories of tomorrow. The battle is not out there. The real fight is in your head. If you conquer the enemy inside, the enemy outside doesn't stand a chance. And don't get it twisted, training your mind is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about refusing to let circumstances control you. It's about saying, yes, this is hard, but I'm harder. Yes, I feel fear, but fear doesn't get to make my decisions. Yes, I've failed before, but that was a lesson, not a life sentence. When you train your mind to think this way, you unlock a level of resilience that no storm can break. Every great achievement starts in the mind before it shows up in reality. Someone had to believe it was possible before it was visible. The airplane, the smartphone, electricity, all of it began with a thought that someone refused to let go of. And just like them, your future is waiting for you to think differently about yourself. Your vision, your dreams, your purpose, they're all counting on you to shift your mindset from limitations to possibilities. So today, challenge your thoughts. When the voice of doubt says, you can't, respond with, watch me. When excuses try to whisper, it's too late, remind yourself, it's never too late as long as I'm breathing. And when fear tells you to stop, let faith tell you to keep moving. Because once you master your mindset, you master your life. Struggles are not stop signs. They are signals that you are on the right path, that you are pushing against the limits of your old self, that you are stepping into something greater than where you came from. Too many people see struggle and think it's the universe telling them to quit. They see a closed door and assume the journey is over. But the truth is, struggle is not there to block you. It's there to build you. Every challenge you face has a purpose, and that purpose is to prepare you for the next level of your life. Think about it. If everything came easy, you'd never grow. If you never faced rejection, you'd never learn resilience. If you never fell down, you'd never discover the strength it takes to get back up. The struggle teaches you lessons no textbook can teach, no mentor can fully explain. It's life's way of equipping you with the tools you'll need for the road ahead. The discomfort you feel in the middle of your struggle is proof that transformation is happening. The problem is, most people misinterpret struggle. They think it's punishment, when really it's preparation. They think it's the end when it's really the beginning. You don't plant a seed and expect it to bloom the next morning. That seed has to be buried, pressed under the soil, go through darkness before it pushes through to the light. The same goes for you. Struggles may bury you in debt, in heartbreak, in doubt, but they're not burying you to end you. They're planting you to grow you. I want you to think about every successful person you admire. They didn't get there without struggle. They went through nights of doubt, days of fear, moments when it seemed like nothing would ever work out. But they refused to see struggle as a stop sign. They saw it as a detour, a redirection, a challenge to find another way. That's why they're where they are today. The only difference between them and the person who gave up is perspective. And let's be real, struggles hurt. They test your patience, your faith, your endurance. But they also introduce you to a part of yourself you didn't know existed. The strength you discover in the middle of the storm will shock you. The courage you find when you've got no choice but to move forward will amaze you. The wisdom you gain from walking through pain will change your life. You wouldn't be who you are without the battles you've already fought. And you won't become who you're meant to be without the battles still ahead. So the next time struggle knocks on your door, don't run from it. Face it. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How is this preparing me? What can I gain from this instead of what have I lost? Change the way you see it, and you'll change the way you handle it. Remember, you are not defined by your struggles, you are refined by them. And when you refuse to quit in the face of struggle, when you choose to push through instead of turn back, that's when you unlock your power. Because at the end of the day, struggles don't stop you, they shape you. They are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones. And if you can endure the weight of the struggle, you will rise stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than ever before. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. Talent will get you started, motivation will give you a spark, but discipline is what keeps the fire burning when the excitement fades and the obstacles multiply. Success is not built in the moments when you feel inspired. It's built in the quiet hours when nobody is watching, when you decide to keep moving forward, even though every part of you wants to stop. Most people lose not because they don't have the ability, but because they don't have the consistency. They start strong but fall off when life gets uncomfortable. Discipline is what separates the dreamers from the achievers. A dreamer says, "One day I'll get there." The disciplined person says, "Today I'll take the next step, no matter how small, no matter how hard." It's not about doing it once, it's about doing it daily. Think about the champions in any field. Athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders. Their success is not accidental. It's the product of disciplined habits repeated over and over. While others sleep, they're training. While others waste time, they're studying. While others complain, they're creating. And the truth is, discipline doesn't always feel good. It's not glamorous. It's saying no to short-term pleasure so you can say yes to long-term victory. It's choosing to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline builds muscle, not just physical muscle, but mental and emotional muscle. It teaches you to endure when life gets tough. It helps you control your mind instead of letting your mind control you. When you practice discipline, you're training yourself to respond to life with strength instead of excuses. Without discipline, opportunities pass you by, potential never gets realized, and dreams remain dreams. With discipline, the impossible becomes possible. Understand this: every time you keep a promise to yourself, you grow stronger. Every time you stick to your routine, even when it's hard, you build momentum. Every time you say, "I'll do it anyway," you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about persistence. You'll stumble, you'll slip, but discipline means you get back on track faster. Ask yourself, what kind of life do you want to build? If it's extraordinary, then ordinary effort won't get you there. You need extraordinary commitment, and that commitment is born out of discipline. The ability to push yourself past comfort, past excuses, past distractions. That's where greatness lives. So if you want to change your life, don't just wait for inspiration. Build discipline. Create habits that serve your future. Stick to them when it's easy, and especially when it's not. Because at the end of the day, discipline is the foundation of success. Without it, dreams fade. With it, you can transform your life into something greater than you ever imagined. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions we face, but it's also one of the most deceptive. Fear will make you believe you can't when you actually can. Fear will convince you that the risk is too high, that the rejection will crush you, that the failure will define you. But here's the truth: fear is temporary. It comes in waves, it shakes you, but it passes. What does not pass so easily is regret. Regret is heavy, it lingers, and it whispers to you for years. What if you had tried? What if you had been bold? What if you had gone after it? Fear shows up in the moment, but regret shows up for a lifetime. Too many people let fear stop them and end up living with regret, wishing they had taken that chance, wishing they had spoken up, wishing they had bet on themselves. You can recover from failure, but it is much harder to recover from regret. You can rebuild after rejection, but you cannot rebuild time that was lost because you refused to move. Think about the moments that scare you most: the interview, the audition, the presentation, the risk of starting something new. That fear is a sign that something greater is on the other side. If you push through it, you grow. If you avoid it, you shrink. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting in spite of it. The people who live full lives, who leave legacies, are not the ones who never felt fear. They are the ones who said, "Yes, I'm afraid, but I'll do it anyway." Imagine being at the end of your life and looking back, not on the failures you had, but on the opportunities you never even tried to take. That is the pain of regret. It doesn't just sting, it haunts. And the only way to avoid that pain is to face fear when it comes and refuse to let it dictate your choices. Every time you act in the presence of fear, you weaken its hold over you. Every time you choose to move forward, you strengthen your own spirit. Fear will fade, but the victory you gain from stepping through it will last forever. You will carry the lesson, the confidence, the growth with you into the next challenge. And even if you stumble, you will know that you had the courage to try. That knowledge fuels you far more than fear ever could. So when fear rises in your chest and tells you to stop, remind yourself, this feeling is temporary. It will pass. But if I let it stop me, the regret will stay. Don't let fear rob you of your future. Let it be the spark that tells you this is a moment worth fighting for, worth stepping into, worth risking. Fear is fleeting, regret is forever, and the choice between them is always yours. Success does not happen by accident. It leaves footprints, it leaves patterns, it leaves clues for those who are willing to pay attention. If you look at people who have achieved greatness, whether in business, sports, music, or leadership, you'll see common threads woven into their stories. They didn't just stumble into success. They studied, they practiced, they sacrificed, and they applied what they learned. Too many people think success is mysterious, reserved for a chosen few. But the truth is that it is predictable when you follow the principles that others have already proven. If you want to climb higher, find someone who has already been to the mountaintop. Learn how they walked, how they overcame obstacles, how they kept moving when storms came. Don't just admire them, study them. Read their books, listen to their speeches, examine their habits. Because if you duplicate the principles, you can reproduce the results. It doesn't mean your path will look exactly the same, but the patterns of discipline, resilience, and faith are transferable. Think about it, athletes don't try to reinvent the game every time they step on the court. They study those who came before them. They learn the moves, the mindset, the work ethic. The same is true in life. If you want to succeed, don't waste time stumbling in the dark when there's already a trail lit by those who have walked before you. Learn from their failures so you don't repeat them. Learn from their victories so you can multiply them. But here's the key. Knowledge without application is useless. You can attend every seminar, read every book, take notes on every success story, and still remain stuck if you don't put what you've learned into action. Success doesn't respond to information. It responds to implementation. It responds to consistency, to persistence, to the willingness to keep showing up day after day. The clues are there, but you have to follow them with your own 2 feet. Success leaves clues, but it also requires sacrifice. Every person you admire gave up something to gain what they now have. Time, comfort, sleep, friendships, entertainment. They traded those things to build something bigger. You cannot get to the next level while clinging to old habits that keep you average. If you want what they have, you must be willing to do what they did. When you study greatness, you realize it's not about luck. It's about choices. It's about the choice to push harder, to think bigger, to stay committed when others quit. And the beauty of it is this: you don't have to start from scratch. The map has already been drawn. The principles are already proven. Your job is to pick them up and walk them out in your own life. So the question is, are you willing to follow the clues? Are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to not just study greatness, but to embody it? Because if you are, then your future is unlimited. Success has already left the trail. It's waiting for you to follow it.